An interview with Arun Krishnamurthy. Arun Krishnamurthy was just 17 years old when he founded the NGO Environmentalist Foundation of India, EFI. Beginning with the turtle walk move to save turtle eggs and young hatchlings in Chennai, today Arun and his team of volunteers have cleaned beaches and various water bodies in Chennai, Hyderabad, Delhi, Coimbatore and Puducherry. The team cleans lakes, beaches and zoos, plants trees, educates people through street plays and also makes environment-friendly paper bags. Arun's team has students who joined him when they were in class 7 and continued to work with him even after 5 years. Which experience as a child inspired you to take up the cause of the environment? What was your first activity? A beautiful lake next to my house, which once had a lot of birds, frogs and snakes, was heavily polluted. It led to the spread of mosquitoes and turned a lovely place into an ugly neighborhood. This hurt me badly and I wanted to do something about it. I got together with a couple of my friends and cleaned the pond next to my house. This was the first activity. What kind of support did you get from your parents and teachers? Was there any conflict between study time and activism? I have supportive parents who understood that my interest was the environment. They have never stopped me from doing what I want. On my part, I also made sure that I did not fail my parents in any way. I always informed them about everything that I did and took their advice before jumping into actions. I have teachers who taught me how to go about things. They also taught me humility so that I did not become snobbish or arrogant and start thinking I was a superstar because T was doing all this environment work. They taught me to be simple and keep learning all the time. I am not an activist, I am an environmentalist. I have learned so much by doing this work. How did your school and college further your interest? College had plenty of green cover and both were home to several other life forms. This made me understand their importance, how beautiful they are and why we need to protect them. These animals are on their own, find their own food and are always active, on the move and never lazy. It is so positive, we have a lot to learn from them. Did you feel any hesitation in quitting a well-paying job and venturing into this full-time? What were the options you weighed before you arrived at your decision? It is always good to decide in favor of what you really love to do. I quit my job at Google, but I still keep in touch with my friends there. So only my duties at Google have come to an end, not my emotional bond. I understood that I had to leave the job at that minute in 2010, or else I would never be daring enough to do so. I could not sit back and enjoy life when environmental damage was happening on such a large scale. I wanted to do something and that something needed my full attention. So I left Google for EFI. What kind of garbage do people throw into water bodies? How do you deal with the removal of this garbage once you clean the water body? Everything from a diaper to worn-out slippers, we find everything in our lakes. This is so disturbing because it is water and water is the basis of life. How can we not care for these water bodies? We use this garbage for landfill with no or minimal exposure to the outside environment. We ensure that the lake area and water holding are free of garbage so that birds, frogs and snakes can live in peace. How many days does it take to clear a large lake? Do you use any special equipment for cleaning and safety? Depending on the size of the lake and the amount of garbage, it can take anywhere between 5 days and 3 months to completely clean a lake. We have our tools like rakes and spades. What kind of protective gear do you use? Can you describe the cleaning process briefly? We wear nose masks, sanitary gloves and carry rakes and spades with which we collect the garbage and dump it into collection buckets which are taken to the garbage truck. We also use heavy machinery like earth movers and poclane to desilt the lake and clear the weeds and shrubs that are harmful. What, in your opinion, can children and young adults do for the environment? What could be a small beginning by all of us in terms of protecting the environment? Firstly, we should all stop throwing trash outside our homes. Next, we should reduce the amount of trash we generate. Straws, tissues, wrappers, batteries, fast food junk, all these end up in lakes and they come from our homes. If we can reduce the amount of garbage at home and if we can dispose all garbage safely, that itself is a great deal. Every student is welcome to volunteer with us in helping the environment. How much time do school-going children need to devote, in say a week, for an environmental cause? 4 hours a weekend, that is 2 hours on Sundays and 2 hours on Saturdays. This small beginning is more than enough to ensure larger participation later. How can students and schools join your fraternity? Do you have any programs to introduce your work to them? Yes, we offer fellowships to interested students. Our program looks at young animal lovers, young wildlife photographers, filmmakers, theatre artists, and scientific researchers. We give them training in these areas and get them actively involved in all our work. Our youngest volunteer is in class 3.